Canon has the best color science in the game, by far. Now, I'm a Canon shooter, right? So I'm supposed to say that. And I do feel like Canon's color science is really good, but I also feel like the other camera brands, their color science is good as well. But what's interesting about color science, and when you talk about color science amongst other photographers, people get very passionate about it. Some people are diehard that Canon has the best. There's a lot of Nikon users that says Nikon has the best color science. Sony has had terrible color science. They've definitely gotten better, and it's pretty good these days. So all across the board, first of all, it's all subjective, but people really tend to have their opinion on which one has the best color science. Now, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You pick whichever one you like, you shoot with what you want to shoot with, and it doesn't matter much. But I wanted to, I guess you could say, do a little experiment, because there are a lot of people that will be like, oh, I knew that was a Canon file because of the color science. Or I've been hearing very frequently lately, oh, I knew that was Nikon because that color science, that Nikon color science, it just can't be touched. And so people put out there that they seem to be able to tell by looking at an image what camera brand it is based off of the colors. So I recently was in Chicago with the homies T-Mid and SJ, and I was able to get my hands on a Nikon and a Sony. So I thought, let's play around with this a little bit, and let's take an image with all three camera brands and then see if you can tell which one is which. Everyone is so good at being able to tell, so I'm like, hey, let's see who can get it right. So I wanted to pair this with a giveaway as well, which I'm going to touch on in just a moment. So I'm going to put 3 images on the screen. One of them was shot with a Canon, one was shot with a Nikon, and one was shot with a Sony. And so what I want you to do is to do 2 things. Go down in the comment. Number 1, I want you to tell me which one you prefer based off of what you see. Now, let me pause for a second. I was going to provide some source files, but I decided not to do that because obviously when you have files that you can pixel peep and you can study, you probably can find nuances and things that would help you determine which was which. And at the end of the day, when we're looking at images, we're not pixel peeping. We don't have the source file. So I really wanted to see if you just looking at an image on your phone or on your computer or your TV, if you're watching this on your TV, if you would really be able to tell just by looking at them. So what I want you to do, go down to the comments and let me know first which one is your favorite, which one do you, in terms of the colors, do you find to be the most pleasing? And then the second thing that I want you to do is to tell me which is which. Now that segues into the giveaway. Now in this video, I'm not going to give you the answers yet because I truly want to see if people really can tell the difference or if it's more anecdotal and that once you know that it was something, you convince yourself or you tell yourself that you knew it was that. I want to see if you really can tell, if you really do know. So I'm not going to give the results in this video, but if you go down to the comments and you do those 2 things, you will automatically be entered into a giveaway to win some cool stuff. Now I'm going to officially announce the giveaway a little bit later because I'm still trying to work through what's going to be in it. But to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is go down to the comments, let me know which one is your favorite, and tell me which one is which amongst the 3. Which one is Sony, which one is Canon, which one is Nikon, and you're automatically entered. I'm not a big fan of doing giveaways. That's why I've never done them on this channel, but I just thought that it would be fun just to incorporate the giveaway into this. So I don't do the whole, subscribe to my channel or, follow me on Instagram. It's like, look, if you don't want to be here, I don't want you here just to win something for free. that doesn't do anything for me with my audience. I don't want a bunch of people that are just here to get free things. So if you like my content and you're not subscribed and you want to, great, go ahead and do that. If you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and do that. But for the giveaway, all you have to do is comment down below those two things. Which one do you prefer the most in terms of the colors? And then tell me which is which of the three, and you'll automatically be entered. So if you're not following me on here or on Instagram, Instagram is where I'll most likely officially announce the giveaway and what's included and all of those things. If you're not following me there, you might want to at least check in from time to time so that way you can see when I announce it. And then in the part 2 of this video, I am going to compile all of the results, and we're going to see which camera brand had the most people saying they preferred those colors the best. And then I'm also going to give the results of how people labeled each one. So I'm going to compile all it together, and then I will also announce the winner in that video. Now, I will say you will have to watch the video to see who the winner is, because if you win, you're going to have to reach out to me first. I'm not going to chase the winner. So you need to watch the part 2 of the video. So if you comment down below, definitely be on the lookout for part 2, so that if you win, you can reach out to me and we can get that going. So have fun, and let's see if people really can tell that it was a Nikon because of the color science, or it was a Canon because of the color science. Camera wise, the Sony was shot with the A7S III, the Nikon was shot with the Nikon Z8, and the Canon was shot with the EOS R. And also, all of these files, I produced JPEG by running them through the, I'll say native software, but I think Canon is maybe the only one that actually has native software. Nikon and Sony, they have from their website software that they recommend or they tell you to use to open the Nikon file and the Sony file. Nikon's actually might be a specific Nikon software as well. Sony, I do know Sony did not have their own. It was a program, I believe it was called Raw Image, but that is what they recommend to open their files. So I used the native software to open these files, these raw files, and then I set all 3 of them to the portrait color profile. I wanted to have some sort of baseline, because obviously every camera is different in terms of how it creates its files and that sort of thing. So I wanted to try to neutralize it as best as I can. So I wanted to be fair in getting the truest colors that I could from each camera by opening it up in the native software versus opening it up in something like Lightroom, which we know Lightroom is terrible with Canon files in terms of the color. I actually don't think that it does the best with Nikon files either. I'm not too sure about Sony, and I don't have Capture One. So I wanted to remove all of that. So by opening it up in the native software and creating JPEGs, it eliminates all of that. Okay, so that's how these files were created. So again, have fun. I'm very much so looking forward to seeing the results. And let's see if people are as good as they say they are with determining which image a camera, or which brand a cam. I'm messing that all up. I messed up that whole inning. Never mind now. That's the end of it. Have fun. Go down in the comments. I'm looking forward to seeing the results.